Jurors in the George Zimmerman trial went into the weekend with a lot of courtroom drama and conflicting testimony to digest. And this week promises much more. Friday's session saw the prosecution rest its case, and the judge rejected a defense request to acquit Zimmerman of second-degree murder in the fatal shooting of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin last year. The mothers of both Martin and Zimmerman listened to the same 911 recordings of someone screaming for help, and each said she was convinced the voice was that of her own son. The question of whose voice is on the recording could be critical to the jury in deciding who was the aggressor in the confrontation.
People thought this was an open and shut case, and I think part of that is the prosecution's fault. I mean, first of all, they went for second-degree murder as opposed to, say, manslaughter, which gave the public the impression that they had this impressive case that once it unfolded would easily lead to Zimmerman's conviction. That hasn't been the case so far at all. They've also made some tactical errors. They've made some missteps that have made.
What do you think have been the biggest missteps?
Well, one thing they allowed George Zimmerman essentially to take the stand without ever physically taking the stand by having the detective come up who then articulates Zimmerman's testimony through the interview, through his deposition and such. Basically, they allowed George Zimmerman to offer his side through the detective. But since George Zimmerman didn't actually take the stand, they didn't have to be cross-examined. The detective does. So in a sense, they gave Zimmerman a free pass. That seemed unwise to me. Another misstep was Rachel Gentile to me. Now, I disagree with people who have said that she is an unfit witness, that she's a bad witness. People say that she embarrassed. I mean, all that stuff is, I think, shot through with racism, and shot through with sexism, and shot through with all kinds of xenophobia. I think it's problematic to attack her. She is not a good star witness, not because of her race or her gender or her language ability, but because there's just a lot of stuff she doesn't know. Because
many people did say it was the language barrier.
The language barrier probably doesn't help. Let's be honest here. I mean, she is not the kind of witness that many jurors want to invest their trust in, and that is because she's black. That is because she is young.
But Mark, there are many people that also think she's a liar.
Right, and that's what's problematic about it, because she's no more of a liar than George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman sat in front of a judge and said that he didn't have any money coming in when he had a PayPal account with hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's what makes this case so confusing.
Well, it makes it confusing, and it probably makes it a reasonable doubt in the minds of many jurors, and that's why it's a dangerous thing.